Well, I'm Dale Reed from RS Retro, working with Carl, who's in the workshop at the moment, and we're building Replica RS200s, as you can see in front of you.
So tell us how you got started with an RS200 Replica. What was the starting point?
Goes back quite a long time, really. It goes back to about 2010, 2011. I built a Cara Replica first of all, but when I built the Cara Replica, all I really got was a body shell and a chassis, and no instructions and no build manual or nothing like that. So it took about 4 years to build it, and an awful lot of research from Ford archives and Ford information to put together the car. I finished the car came out really nice, and looked at it, and it was the wrong shape. Because when Cara put the car together, I think Ford was still trying to sell original RS200s, so Ford asked Cara to change the shape of the Cara Replica. So it's longer than an original 200, it's deeper, none of the panels fit, so it's basically the wrong shape. So I decided straight away I was going to sell the car.
Yeah.
By that time I'd done so much research, and I designed a chassis based around the original RS200 chassis, and I'd managed to get hold of an original RS200 body shell. So with the money that was obtained from the sale of the Cara Replica, I put the money into building a more accurate replica, so that the chassis and the body are all accurate to the RS200 dimensionally and structurally. So important that when you open the front and rear clam and you open the bonnet and the boot, you look underneath and it's got the same twin wishbone suspension, twin shock absorber suspension set up. Everything underneath it is identical, so the cars are genuine replicas.
Now tell us a little bit about your background, because that would actually, you know, show, you know, you really do know your stuff in terms of being able to do this.
Well, my background really is I worked with Ford Motor Company designing production lines for mainstream production cars. It started off really with Sierras, Mark III Escorts, Mark IV Escorts, Fiestas, and we designed the production lines for Ford Motor Company. So everything was about production and right first time, and making sure that you can make a car repeatable every time, one after the other, after the other, after the other. We made Sierras in Dagenham, one car every 30 seconds. You know, that includes 5 tyres and wheels put on the car, pumped up, balanced, and
so you've really got to think through every single detail to be able to achieve that.
So the reflection, that's right, so the reflection on the production line engineering went into the design of these RS200 replicas, so that the CAD designs are then sent out to laser cutters to have all the parts laser cut, and they've got all the holes and all the slots and all the fixings and every nut bolt washer that you need to screw the cars together. The same with the tubes go out to laser profilers, so the whole car comes together, and it's virtually self-jigging because everything's so accurate and everything's all in the right place. So there's no hit or miss, drill a hole later. All the holes and everything are already on the car, ready to go.
In terms of the running gear, as you said, the suspension is accurate to the original.
Sure.
What components do you need from elsewhere?
We don't. The whole cars are, there is no donor car.
Right.
Everything we build from new components. We can choose different engines. You can put in an original, you can put the original drivetrain from an RS200 into the chassis, because the chassis was taken from the original Ford designs. If you can afford it, it's a lot of money, and there's not many of them around anymore. So we produce a 2-wheel drive version of it, which uses an Audi transaxle, which is a very strong, cost-effective component, and couple that to a Ford engine. We use a Ford Zetec engine in a lot of the cars, because they have a BDA cam cover on the top, so the engine itself also mimics the original RS200, and it's installed at an angle as well, so it looks correct. Yeah, but there are a choice of engines. There's enough space in the back of the car to put V8 engines in there, V6 engines in there, straight 5 engines out the Mark III RS Focus, and we could do the adapter plates and the coupling plates to do that. So Engine choice and transmission choice is plenty. Yeah.
And if someone wants to build one themselves, realistically, they're looking around somewhere in the region of what, 70,000 to finish a car?
If you're going to do it top notch with, you know, proper Alcantara trim inside and you know, really go to town on it, then 70 grand is going to get you a complete car that is 1-for-1 accurate to the original car. In fact, 70 grand will get you a car that's probably elevated above an original car because of the trim materials and that you can use. Yeah. You can probably build a car for, well, there is an option to build a car using an Audi A4 as a donor, yeah, which is like your entry method. So you can probably get a car on the road for something like 30 or 40 grand, and then you can enhance it by adding your trim materials and maybe later on changing the engine from an Audi engine to a Ford engine, and you can build upon it. So at least you've got an up and driving car, and then you can take your time over years to improve it and lift it and move forwards.
So your project is forever moving forward, and it's evolving.
Yeah, so you got an evolving project, so you know it's a long-term thing, and then you can tailor it to what you like and what you see and how you want to do it. So yeah, it's gives an extra dimension to it, an extra longevity to the project build. But you can get yourself a car up and running and driving around relatively quickly and relatively inexpensively, and then perfect it later on so you get a better and better product.
Right, now the thing that excited me and drew me down here before you were ready for me, to be honest, is the carbon fibre car there, because I know that you've got a customer interested in this. So talk us through the carbon fibre option, because that's incredible.
Carbon fibre, well, carbon fibre's got a buzz to it. You know, people, as soon as they hear carbon fibre, they it's got that extra elevating effect to the name carbon fibre.
And no surprise, that's the black one, if anyone's wondering.
The black one, the black one's carbon fibre. Now, what it is it's very, very lightweight, and what it is, it's the outside of it is matte black, and the outside is designed to be painted. So it's not, if you like, see-through carbon fibre. It's not pretty carbon fibre. It's functional carbon fibre. But we'll show you some pictures of it later on. As you lift the clam and the bonnet, and also
see the weave in the back, can't you?
That's right, inside the interior, and that you can see the carbon weave, and you can lacquer over that weave, and you can protect that. So when you lift all the panels up, you get the wow factor of the carbon fibre. But on the outside, the car looks aggressive. You can have it matte black or satin black, so it's an aggressive looking car, but a very lightweight carbon fibre chassis. So
and that's way beyond the original, RS200s as well.
Yeah, and also we can do it in carbon Kevlar if you want carbon Kevlar, or like the white car. The white car is just regular regular GRP fiberglass panels. So you have a choice of panel materials as well.
And finally, how do people find you?
Well, various ways. We're on Facebook as RS Retro. If you put RS Retro into Google search engine, you'll see various links. We have a photo site on smugmug.com, which is rsretro.smugmug.com. If you look on there, you can see all the customer builds and the 10 cars that we've built to date. It shows a breakdown of all the stages from the chassis being welded up right through to the final car driving down the road. So if you want to spend a few hours wading through those sites, you're more than welcome to look at them. Yeah.
Well, that's brilliant. Thank you ever so much for talking to us.
No problem. Thanks very much for your time.
Okay. Okay.
Car come the other way.
Yeah, let him get past you.
I'm going in, so which way a bit.
Another one coming.